My name is Dr. Peter Stockdale, Dr. Peter Stockdale, Stockdale. And I'm here to talk about the ZB project and the court case that's taken place, and broadly the vision of Grandfather William Commanda to change the nature of what has been going on here for 200 years from lumber industrialism. And what we're protesting is the really utter disregard for the desire since 1950 to create a park on Chaudiere Island and free Chaudiere Falls, and that has been agreed by the National Capital Commission, all the levels of government, and that lasted for 60 years until 2014, when the Harper government decided that they would give this project, this land, for practically nothing to the ZB developers, so that is Windmill and Dream Corporation. And so they want to change lumber industrialism into condo industrialism. Now, they're green condos, but a green condo is not as good as a park or a free falls. And this free falls is not any free falls. It's a 5,000-year-old sacred site, known by the Europeans since 1613, when Champlain came up and saw his guides offering tobacco to the falls. So Europe has known about it for 400 years, but we've pretty much ignored that, and we've used that industrialism, that power of the river, for hydroelectric power. And that's what we're continuing to want to do, but add condos to that. In the court case that's been before, and that's why I'm standing in front of the courtyard here, the court case concerns an appeal to the Ontario Municipal Board, which was dismissed, and that involved the world-renowned architect Douglas Cardinal and several other appellants who wanted to maintain the park designation of that site. As I was saying, for 60 years it was agreed to free the falls and create a park. And so, as part of that intention, there was a zoning by the City of Ottawa of parkland. And we wanted to maintain that zoning. The city really conspired with the NCC, National Capital Commission, and the developers to ignore that 60-year-old intention and create these condos. We've been before the court here to say you can't do that for a number of reasons. You have to properly consult. And particularly in this case, we've narrowed it down, is you have to consult and pay attention to the knowledge of Indigenous people. Now, previously, you could just say, well, thanks very much, we met you, Indigenous people, and thanks for the information, but it's not really proper information. It's not real. You can't do that anymore. There was a decision, the Chilcotin decision by the Supreme Court, which says that Indigenous knowledge, custom, and title has to be incorporated into the knowledge of law, the body of law. And so you cannot just say, well, thank you for the information, but it's really irrelevant. And so that's what we were bringing to the court. And that's what the justice has to decide on, and we're probably going to hear something by the end of this month. Now, this will just mean that they'll have to go to a full case in front of the Ontario Divisional Court, but it means that the windmill and dream developers can't just go ahead and say, dismissed, we're done. Even if that was the case, however, we would appeal it. We'd appeal it to a higher court. And so it wouldn't be over. And furthermore, we're taking other tacks, legal and otherwise. So we are also mounting an injunction both against the development of CB that's proposed, and also against Energy Ottawa. Energy Ottawa, not part of this court case, is expanding the hydroelectric power at the site. And they're spending $150 million underwritten by the City of Ottawa taxpayers to double hydro expansion. Now, what people don't know is that hydro development will be sold to Dream Windmill, or Dream, part of the ZB development. And so Ottawa taxpayers will be essentially underwriting this private development, or hydro development, and the Natural Capital Commission will be giving them 2/3 of one island and about half of Chaudiere Island, probably for $1. And there has been a lot of argument that, well, the developers, they're going to be cleaning up that site. Isn't that wonderful? Well, they're giving that prime land for $1, and then the City of Ottawa is going to be paying for most of the brownfield. And the City of Ottawa is also subsidizing through the tax base Energy Ottawa so they can sell it to Dream. So all of this together is what is part of our injunction, both against the hydro development and against CB. We want green power. We want a better green power than what they're proposing, and that's quite possible. And there are multiple things I can say about that, but I won't. And we're not against condos or windmill condos. We know windmill condos are better than some condos, but they just don't have to be right there, right smack in the middle of this most sacred site. There are over 220 churches, synagogues, etc., just on the Ottawa side alone, if we don't even include Gatineau. But there's no Indigenous spiritual location for Indigenous people to worship at. And we talk a lot about fairness in our culture. I talk about me as a European. It's wholly unfair that we won't give Indigenous people a single place that they can call their own to worship at, that they're willing to share with everyone. It's just utterly